What is good, you guys? Welcome back to the Heat Report, and the Miami Heat are back in the win column. Welcome back to Heat Weekly. We're going to be talking about and reviewing the games and talking about the future of the Heat with Jimmy Butler being back, and it's going to be a very exciting period now. We were hit by the coronavirus outbreak very hard. A lot of our players were under the protocols where they couldn't play, but now they're back, and that makes it really interesting. We were on a 5-game losing streak, if I'm not mistaken, but ever since Jimmy Butler came back, which was yesterday, we got the win. So hopefully we can string some W's together. We have the Hornets and the Wizards twice, so those should be 3 winnable games, very winnable games, because they're not the best teams. We have also 2 games against the Knicks. So the Hornets, Wizards, Knicks, and Knicks should all be 5 wins on the trot for us. I don't see us losing those games. I know anything can happen in this league, and there are no easy games in this league, so we can't take them for granted. But with Jimmy Butler being back, we have to take advantage of this opportunity and get some wins back on our column, because we have been off to a shaky start. Now, the last time I recorded an episode and posted one, it was right before the first game against the Brooklyn Nets. So it's been a long time. So we're going to get right into it, man. Deep dive into all these games. But before we do that, I just want to make sure you guys hit that subscribe and like button. We're going to be dropping videos weekly, and I don't want you guys to miss any videos. This is going to be like a series where I just talk about the Heat. If anything major happens, then I'll be making videos during the week as well. But the reason I have been doing it once a week rather than once a day is because I am in college, guys, and the workload is a bit heavy, so I want to prioritize that but also get content out for you. So I'm gonna be doing that every weekly, so make sure y'all hit that subscribe and like button, and leave a comment down below as to what your thoughts were on the Miami Heat this week. Now let's get right into it. The first game was against the Brooklyn Nets, and in this game we saw Bam Adebayo. Amazing game for Bam. The games against Brooklyn, Bam ate, man. Bam had some great games against the Brooklyn Nets. Starting off with his career high 41, 9, and 5 stat line. He was the sole reason why we were almost in a winning position this game. We did have guys like Duncan Robinson, Goran Dragic, and Kendrick Nunn step up. Kendrick Nunn stepping up was very vital for us. We needed that from Kendrick Nunn. Last week he was the player of the week. This week it's going to go to Bam Adebayo, because I felt like Bam has been our rock. Against the Clippers, he didn't really have that great of a game, but against everyone else, he went off. And even against the Clippers, his stat line wasn't terrible. He just wasn't imposing himself like he was in the other games. So Bam Adebayo is your player of the week for the Miami Heat this week, and hopefully he can string these wins. He can help us string these wins together, man. We need Bam. Without a doubt. He's the engine of this team, like everyone says. Now, so against the 2 games against the Nets, I believe that if we were to play the Nets in the series, we would have a real shot at beating them, because the Nets are terrible defensively, and I feel like Bam Adebayo can just eat on whoever they have, because they're not really good defensive centers. I know they're signing Norvel Pelle, so their center core will be DeAndre Jordan, Norvel Pelle, and Reggie Perry, and I don't think any of those 3 can stop Bam. So I think if we play the Nets in a 7-game series, I think Bam is going to have a great series, as he showed in these 2 games, which is going to be vital for us. We need that advantage going up against the Nets, who have these 3 superstars that can just score. In the second game against the Nets, a lot of these games we lost, down the stretch in the fourth quarter, except for last night. The fourth quarter was terrible in all these other games because we didn't really have a closer. Against the Nets, Tyler was out. Against the and Jimmy Butler was out. And the same thing against the Nuggets. Tyler came back against the Clippers and had a great game, almost brought us back to victory. But I wasn't really expecting us to close the game out without our 2 main closers. I know Goran Dragic was on the court, but he's not. He's getting up there in age right now, and I don't even think he played that much of the fourth quarter. Against the Nuggets, we kind of just fell apart. Offensively, we couldn't really do much. I think our offense took a big hit with Jimmy Butler being gone. Against the Clippers, I thought we were in prime position to win that game. We just, in the third quarter, kind of fell apart. gave them a lot of open threes and couldn't really do much. And that's ultimately why they ended up winning that game. I thought we could have easily won the Clippers game. They didn't, because they were shorthanded as well. So there's no excuse for us to drop that game. I know the other games you can say Jimmy Butler was missing, Avery Bradley, Goran Dragic, Tyler Hero. Against the Clippers, Tyler Hero came back and they didn't have Kawhi, PG, or Patrick Beverly. So we should have won that game. It's kind of disappointing that we lost. But it's whatever, man. I think we can win. I think with Jimmy Butler back, we can make a lot of noise. And we saw that against the Kings. I want to talk about this Kings game in depth because this was the most recent games. I know this is the game that y'all probably think that matters the most because it just happened. The games in the past probably don't mean as much now because they were a while ago. Against the Kings, I thought Jimmy Butler came back and imposed his will. The coach Spoelstra said that there was no minutes restriction on any of his minutes. So he kind of feasted 30 points, 8 assists, 7 rebounds, got to the line a lot. I told you guys about Jimmy Butler, man. With him being back, it brings a whole nother dynamic to our offense because without him, we kind of was just living by the 3 and dying by the 3. We were just, sitting on the 3-point line and chucking up shots. But Jimmy Butler coming back, he brings a whole nother dynamic to our offense where he can drive to the lane, get some free throws, draw some fouls. Dribble penetration, which we kind of missed without him. And he imposed his will against the Sacramento Kings. I thought he was going to be rusty because he missed his first layup, but he had a great game. Jimmy Butler had an amazing game. I thought everyone else stepped up too. Guys like Max Strus down the stretch. Duncan Robinson had some big threes. Tyler Hero had a good game. Bam had a great game as well. So everyone chipped in. We are still missing Goran Dragic and Avery Bradley, and those two are going to be big pieces. I'm assuming, because I'm not, and this might be surprising to you, but I still think that's Eric Spoelstra trying to figure out which rotation is his best. I'm assuming that when Goran and Avery Bradley come back, they're probably going to take the place of Gabe Vincent and Max Strus. The reason I'm saying that Spoelstra has not figured out his rotations yet is because today he started KZ Okpala at the 4, where it's been Kelly Olynyk in recent games. And I really like the KZ Okpala move to start at the 4. He only played 7 minutes, which I'm kind of puzzled about, because I think he played the least amount of minutes on the team, KZ Okpala. So I don't know if there's a reason for that or like what happened. Spoelstra's done this in the past where he started KZ and just played him for like 5 minutes, 7 minutes. But I think the reason why I love KZ, even though his offense might not be, the greatest, I think the starting 4 should be either him or Mo Harkless. I don't like Kelly Olynyk at the 4. I think Kelly Olynyk is a guy that we should bring off the bench to give us some energy. Not energy, but give us a spark, basically. Be a microwave guy that can just, come in and hit threes off the bench. That's what we need. Kelly Olynyk was actually our leading scorer off the bench, so I think that's the role that we should play him at. Now when Mo Harkless, Goran Dragic, and Avery Bradley come back, we're gonna get back into this problem that we had before, where we had too many good guys that weren't even getting minutes. Which is why I said we're gonna have to make some moves and try to flip these guys for better assets that we can use in our team, because we have a lot of quality pieces. Even our G League players like Gabe Vincent and Max Strus are very, they're not scrubs, man. They can play. So we have to figure out, what we want to do with these guys. Last night Kendrick Nunn didn't get any minutes because and I was wondering why. I was like, oh, is it because these guys came back, so like he's fell out of the rotation? But apparently Kendrick Nunn didn't play because he was awaiting a COVID-19 test result when the game started. But he was cleared by the second quarter and could have played, but I think Spoelstra was like, if it's not broke, we don't want to just throw him into the game. So I guess he just didn't play. He didn't want to mess up the rhythm of the team, which I get. But at the time I was really puzzled, and I'm sure some of you guys were too. So if you guys don't know why Kendrick Nunn didn't play, it was because he was awaiting a COVID-19 test result during the game. So it's not like he fell out of the rotation or anything, and hopefully he doesn't, because I think Kanon is a good player. But if he's not going to play, he needs to be moved, because I think we can get something for him. I think he's a very quality piece. And apparently Tyler Hero, this is some big breaking news that actually came out today. Tyler Hero revealed that in his post game interview that he had learned he learned that during halftime someone who's living with him had tested positive for COVID-19, so he might have to quarantine. So that could be a big blow. If Tyler Hero has to quarantine when he just came back and he looks pretty good. He put up 19 in the first game, 15 in the second game, and we have to see what happens with that, because Tyler Hero being out is gonna hurt us a lot. Hopefully Jimmy Butler coming back can pull out some wins for us, but Goran Dragic, hopefully he comes back soon. Same with Avery Bradley. I don't think our injuries have anything to do with COVID-19 protocols. I think it's just physical injuries. So guys like Mo Harkless, Goran Dragic, Myers Leonard, and Avery Bradley should be back pretty soon. Now with these with the guys that are sitting on our bench and not doing much, guys like Myers Leonard, Mo Harkless at times, KZ Okpala at times, Kendrick Nunn at times, these guys are quality NBA players. Now I'm still struggling as to why we paid Myers Leonard $20 million. Maybe it's because I think we said I'm guessing, guys. I'm guessing that we were like, listen, Myers, you can get your bag, get your money this first year, but we're gonna make the second year a team option, and there's no way that we're gonna give you $20 million for the second year, and you're gonna have to take a pay cut or you're gonna have to walk. And he was probably like, fine, okay, I'll get my money. I'll get my $20 million now, or my $10 million now. I don't know why I keep saying 20. He's getting paid $20 million over 2 years. Sorry for any confusion. $10 million a year. So you're probably like, get your $10 million, and then for the second year, we're gonna try to restructure that where you get a little bit less, or a lot less. But if you don't want it, you're gonna have to walk, and some other team can pay you. But I guarantee you, no other team's gonna pay you that much, because we're not even gonna be using you. I don't think they said the last part to him, by the way, but I'm just saying, like, we're not using Myers Leonard. There's no way that a team's gonna give him more than 10 million or more than like 7 million. But yeah, I think Myers was just like, all right, fine, I'll take my bag and we'll see what happens next year. I think we did that with Goran too, but I can understand Goran because Goran's been contributing for us. I don't really understand Myers' situation, but I guess that was the reasoning. KZ Okpala in the starting lineup. How do you guys like that, man? Because it was puzzling why he only played 7 minutes, but I guess it's because his offense wasn't really that great. But the thing I noticed about KZ is that the 2 games that he was starting recently, we put him on Jamal Murray and De'Aaron Fox. So Eric Spoelstra clearly trusts him to guard some very elite players. And, I mean, his defense is very good. So, I mean, I can understand why. But only playing 7 minutes is kind of puzzling to me. I think he brings the same thing as Iguodala does to our team, but I think he's still growing, unlike Iguodala, who's coming to a decline. I think he can be our Iguodala in the future. And some reports came out that we actually think that KZ can be a better prospect than Tyler. So if we think that highly of him, I don't understand why he's not playing more minutes. I want to see what he's made of. I've seen some moves where he's made, I'm like, okay, but like he hasn't like scored the baskets, but like because his offense is very raw. But I can see what's in his bag. I just want to see him more. But yeah, KZ Okpala, let me know what your thoughts are, because we're still struggling at that power forward position as to what we want to do. After that, I think that's about it, guys. I think that's about it for this week's Heat Weekly. Precious has been playing really well. I want to talk about Precious. When Bam has, been slacking a little bit, and at sometimes, I know he's been our player of the week, but in the Nuggets game and the Clippers game, he wasn't playing that well. Precious gave us some big minutes. I really like that the Precious pick, man. It's turned out great for us. And also, Bradley Beal is available. I don't know if he's going to request a trade, but apparently it came out that if the Wizards are going to be trading him, it's going to be to a team that Bradley Beal wants to go to. Now, if he wants to go to Miami, do y'all want to pull that trigger or no? And Oladipo also said in his post-game press conference a couple of days ago that I want to go to a team that wants me. So he wants Miami, man. Oladipo wants Miami. So that those possibilities are still there to get guys like Bradley Beal and Oladipo at the trade deadline or in free agency with Oladipo. Next couple of games are against the Hornets, the Wizards twice, and then the Knicks twice. Should be able to win all 5 of these games. There's absolutely no excuse as to why we drop and we don't win on any of those games. Like, we have to, especially with Jimmy Butler being back. We can't use that as an excuse anymore. We're 7-12. We're 13th in the Eastern Conference, so we got to pick it up if we want to be in this playoff push. And I think I can see us being a 4 or 5 seed again this year. I think our start has made sure that we're not going to be the 1, 2, or 3 seed. But 4 or 5, I think, is our ceiling this year. But in the playoffs, you all know that we're going to give any team a run. I'm confident we can beat any team in the playoffs. So that's going to be for me, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you guys thought about this week. The things that I said. Do y'all want to see KZ Okpala start at the 4? What do you guys think about Bradley Beal, Victor Oladipo coming to the Heat? Let me know down in the comments below. As usual, leave a like and subscribe. I'll see y'all later. Peace.